mathematical solutions for KwaZulu-Natal, Paper 1, Mathematical Literacy, Preparatory Exam 2024. All right, go straight to question number 1. Question number 1. University education has become so expensive that only a few learners can afford to pay for their first year education. Table 1 below shows the 2024 first year fees for 5 faculties in top 8 South African universities. All right. These are the universities that we are looking at, and these are the faculties. These are the different faculties, which are 5. So the universities are 8, and the faculties are 5. Anyway, state whether the data above for the 5 faculties is discrete or continuous. The data that we are seeing is discrete. Why do we say discrete? 1, because we are having all numbers. Write in words the University of KwaZulu-Natal is for BA. First and foremost, we need to identify this is the BA. Then we come to University of KwaZulu-Natal. So we need to write that in words, which is 49. $49,000. $49,600. $28. Arrange the BS degree fees for the 8 universities in ascending order from smallest to biggest. We are looking at the BSc degrees. BSc. Looking at the BSc degree, so which is this one here. So from lowest to highest, we start with the lowest number. This one becomes 1, followed by this. We have this, followed by that. We go to this. Followed by this. We come to 7. And eventually we come to the highest. So the reason why I do this is to avoid errors. So when I come down here, I know number 1 is supposed to be this much. Number 2 number 3 number 4 number 5 number 6 7 and lastly 8. Name the cheapest university for BCom degree. Cheapest. BCom is the lowest university that we have here. 53,000. And from University of KwaZulu-Natal, University of KwaZulu-Natal. Okay, here we go. They're telling that this land is the most expensive university for LLB degree. Calculate A, given that the range of LLB for the 8 universities is this much. So this is range given to us. A, the highest value. That means we have the lowest value. Why? Because we know very well for them to have got range, they used this formula here, which simply means range. I already have it, it's there. So I'll substitute it equals to the highest value, which is A, minus the lowest. Then we go to the, okay, let's look for the lowest value, which is 45,390. So the value of A is going to be 27,610 plus 45,390. And the value of A, we got it as, we got it as 73,000. 73,000. If the University of Cape Town has 187 first-year students doing engineering, calculate the total amount of fees from the students. So we shall multiply by the amount we have here, the University of Cape Town, and we are looking at this 84,060. And we end up having 15,719,120 rands. Here's the next question, 1.2. When you look at this is the bank statement. And they're telling us to explain the meaning of what's meant by the balance brought forward. We have to say is the closing balance from the previous month. Determine the value of B. We go to the next chart. We see, yeah, B is balance. So it's supposed to be this minus this. Sorry, this minus this. They go to that. This minus this. So it's supposed to be subtraction of that. So the value of this is going to be B will equal to the previous balance minus calculate the total amount of cash withdrawals in the statement. Look at cash withdrawals. We have one cash withdrawal, and we have two cash withdrawals. So we need to add them up. So what are we adding? We are adding this side here, the values that we have. So 1.8 plus 9,500 Okay, they're telling us round off the salary deposited into Nambuzo's account to the nearest thousand. So we first need to know the cash deposited, this one. Salary deposited is this other one. So we are taking this, which is 42,893. 42,893, comma, 76 to the nearest, supposed to be 43,000. Determine the unit ratio. This one here we start with 1. So unit ratio of service fee 50 to 2. The cash deposit on the 13. So it's 52 is 5,200. And the answer became 1 is to 100. Calculate the difference between the highest and the lowest value there. Service fee, here we go. This is the lowest and this is the highest, which I need to subtract that. 300 minus 1 rand 20 cents. And the answer became 299, identify the type of fuel. Identify the type of fuel that has the second largest difference. So you had to subtract this and this, and this, that and that. This was the highest number there. 93 petrol inland. Inland. So calculate the difference between 95 and it is supposed to be And they're telling us right now the model price, there was no mode here. All right, this brings us to the end of question number 1. Question number 2. Lambert wants to buy. Lambert wants to buy a house in Durban. His bank can approve a housing loan of 1,500,000, 1.5 million, to be paid back over a period of 25 years at an interest of 11.5% interest per annum. He saw an advert. He saw an advert on the internet for the house in Morningside, Durban. So here they are telling us 2.1.1, write down any two features of the property above. The features are these ones in diagram. So the first one, these are bedrooms. This represents bedroom. This represents bathroom. And this represents a garage where you keep the car. And this represents parking. All right? An open place there, like the car is out there. Okay, they're saying rate any two. So you're supposed to pick any two from these ones here. Any two from these ones here. Why is it asked? Because you're not going to draw this. You're going to write them in words. So you pick any two. All right. 2.1.2. Use step 3 in annexure B to calculate Lambert's monthly repayment on a loan of 1,500,000. You may use the formula below, which is true, which equals to loan amount divided by 1,000 times the factor. So what if, first and foremost, we are going to look at what's the loan amount here. He wants to take everything. He wants to take a loan of 1 million. So it's going to be 1,500,000 divided by 1,000 times the factor. So we go to the table and we look at the factor. So take notes. These are the years. These are the years. Then the interest rate is this one here. Interest rate. So now, where the two meet, that will become the factor. So 25 years of. So this is the factor here. Because this is where the years is going to take the loan for and the interest. So you follow that line where they meet. So the factor is this 10,16. So we shall come here and say 10,16. $10,16, and the answer became 10,240. We go ahead and we say 2.1.3. Use table 3. Use table 3 in annexure B to calculate the total transfer and total bond cost Lambert will have to pay for the property above. We're looking at these two. So you're going to say TF plus TB. TF total transfer. This is TT, total transfer plus total bond. Total transfer plus total bond. We shall go to the next chart. First and foremost, we shall identify the house is at 1 million and a half. So we come here, we say, okay, if it's 1 million and a half, what is the amount that we need? It's this much. Because this side was transfer. This side from here to there, it's transfer cost. So the total transfer cost is this much. Plus the total bond. Now, this is the bond cost this side. Total cost, and we have end up having so we add that up. Let's go and we see. $46,791.50 plus 34,000. And the final answer there was 81,000. Is the money. This is the money that they will use for transfers and the total bond costs. All right. 2.1.4. Lambert stated that if the bank gives him a loan of 105%, that means the loan has increased by 5% of the property cash price, he will be able to buy the property above and pay the transfer and the bond costs. Verify showing all the calculations. Now, number one, we need to know, because now initially only the loan buy the house is a $500,000. It's 1.5 million. When we add on the transfer money and the bond money or bond cost to become this much, we need to add that, find out. So I'm here adding and we say 1,555 plus 81,583. This becomes 1,058,000. So if 1,581,583 rands. So this is what is needed before the increment. Now, it claims when the loan is that if the loan is increased by 5%, we'll be able to beat this. So let's find out. So we shall take the percentage at which it's going to increase. And remember, they are promising full amount. So we increase that. So we end up having 1,575,000. This versus that, so it's incorrect. It's correct. Incorrect. Incorrect. Because the money he gets after the increment, it's lower than, it's shorting. It's not what you expected to have. Yeah, it's shorting by 6,583. This is a shortfall. So the statement is incorrect. 2.1.5. Calculate the total interest Lambert will pay if the bank agrees. If the bank agrees, now we are looking at interest. Interest if the bank agrees to give you. Remember, now if the bank agrees to give him 105%, that means they would have given them 1,575,000. So we look at interest. What will it be? So simply meaning we need to come and we see. First and foremost, we need to find out the monthly loan amount. So we shall do the same. We shall come here. We divide by 1,000 times the factor. Now the factor could have changed because now we are looking at 11%. Okay, factor is the same. 25 years of age. So we say times 10, comma, and 6. Whatever I'm doing there, I'm looking for what we call the monthly repayment. So I will end up, answer becomes 16,002. You understand? This is the monthly. But then if you pay this much, you're going to pay it for 25 years. So times 25. But this is monthly. So you multiply it by 4 because it's monthly. So in a year, in 25 years, how many installments would you have made? That's why you are multiplying by 25 times 4. So we have 16,002 times 25 times 4. Yeah, at the end of the 25 years, he would have paid 4,800,600. So because we're looking for the interest, we shall come and say minus 1,575,000. And the answer becomes, you would have paid an interest of 3,425,600 as interest. First and foremost, we had to go through this. Why? Because we had to get the monthly payment. So in the if every month it pays this 16 for over 25 years, of how much will it be? It will be this much. So we subtract the initial amount of money he took from the bank, and we come back and we get the change, which is 3,225,600. That will be the interest we pay back to the bank. Lambert stated that the total transfer and the bond cost is more than a 20th of the cash price of the property. Now, definitely here we are still looking at the first one, which is 1.5 million. So first and foremost, we should need to find out how much is the 20th of 1.5 million? 1.5 million, a 20th of 1.5 million. A 20th is 75,000. Versus, what was the total amount for the bond and the transfer money? We saw it as 83,000. Sorry, 81,500. They're saying if the total transfer is more than a 20th. So the statement is what? It's valid. They're saying when you add this and that, it should be more than a 20th. So first and foremost, we have to find out what's a 20th of 1.5 million. We go to this much versus the total transfer and bond costs, which was this much. So indeed, it's more than. All right, we go to 2.2. 2.2.1, calculate the compounded half-yearly interest rate for 6 months. Now, this is, let me see, what is it? Half-yearly for 6 months, which is, this is the first half. All you have to do is get the compound, which is divided by 2, and you get your 6% half-yearly. Half-yearly. We're looking at that. Half-yearly. Manually calculate the total amount that Lambert will have to pay his friend at the end of the 2 years. Lambert realizes that 105% home loan from the bank will not be enough to cover all the costs. His friend, who is willing to give him a loan of 7,000 to be paid back in full after 2 years with the following condition. Condition number 1, he has to pay a simple interest of 11.75% per annum for the first year, then 12% per annum compounded half yearly for the second year. Now, first and foremost, we need to deal with the first year, which is going to be simple interest, which is going to be 11.75 over 100 times 7,000. This is interest. Then plus the money itself, how much will it be? So in the first year, the guy expects to see this happen. So we go to the second year. Second year, remember, it's compounded now half yearly. That means it's split into 2. The first half, which will be 6% times, now we are using this because the first year he never took it back. 7,000. So there we look for interest. Which is plus the money Then we go to the second one. Go to the second one now, which is going to be still half yearly. So we say our 6 over 100 times the money that we have to deal with the previous money. That is there at the end of the first month, at the end of the first half. So we get interest as 497 plus the money itself. $8,291 minus 85. So here we have remember they are asking us calculate the total amount that we will pay at the end. So this is much. This is the amount you will pay. This other side is what we say compound. Né? This side we took it as to be compound, whereas this other side was what? Simple interest. This is compound. This is simple interest. All right. That brings us to the end of question number 2. Let's look at question number 3. Data handling. All right. Tourism has always contributed to a lot to the economy of South Africa. At the end of 2023, the total contribution was 268 billion, brackets 4.3% of the total economy. The graph below shows the percentage distribution of tourists by region of residence and gender for January 2024. So we have all, we have overseas, we have SADC, and we have other African countries, I believe. Okay, or other African regions. Name the type of graph that's shown above. We said this is called the, you can say it's a stack graph. Oh, some people like saying it's a stacked bar graph. But as long as we see this word here, you know what you're talking about. All right, let's look at question number 3.1.2. Write down the gender that contributed the majority of tourists for all the 3 regions. All the 3 regions we are looking at this, that, and this. So here we are going to say the biggest, like the one you see male, the light color. They are in 50s and above. So here the answer here becomes what? Male. Gender. Calculate the mean percentage of the female tourists in all the 3 regions, BC, overseas, SADC, and other. So we are going to go there and we take the percentage. These are the ones that you see. Mean. What do? We add and we divide by the number. So we are adding overseas, which was 47.6 plus SADC, which is 41.8 plus all other, which is 38.5. Add everything. How many values have we added? There are 3, so we get the answer there. So 47,6 plus 41,8 plus 38,5. So this became 9. We divide this by 3, we have 42,63. Don't forget you're dealing with percentages. Okay. 3.1.4. The estimated 2023 population for SADC region was 389,4 million people. Okay, the percentage of both male and female tourists in SADC region who visited South Africa. So what we're going to do, we shall come here, SADC. Here we are. We are looking at these values, but we want it as a percentage. So what we're going to do, we are going to add both of them because they're saying both male and female. So we are going to add both of them. Over this number here, put it in values, which is, so of the million, 10 has to go off. Then they are asking us, calculate the percentage. That's where we come and multiply by 100. So having seen that, let's add and we say 445,330 plus 319,372. We end up having 764,702 divided by which became 0,196. Two decimal places, we have it as this much. Have it as that much. We look at question number 3.2. 3.2, we come back to the tree diagram and we see this, which is we have M and A. What is it? But then you might look here and say, no, man, A is the mother of all this combination. And what starts the combination? That means this is what? A is F, which was, I believe, is standing for female. When you come here, K. So A is that. Then what about B? When you look at B, is here. And when you see this, that's with M, and or S. And here come M. That means it's M. It goes with it. That means B was, because this M is this one here. This one that you have here. Then come to C. C is the total outcome, which will start with F and SADA, because it's in this line. So we come down and we say, complete the, yes. Please, you complete this. You write this in your answer. Don't complete in the question paper. Complete this on your answer sheet. So there it was supposed to be. You write down, you say A, you say F. Then B, you said it was what? SADA. Then C, F and SADA. Please, this has to be in your answer sheet, not the question paper. Because the question paper won't be handed in. Okay, 3.2.2. Determine probability as a simplified fraction of randomly choosing a tourist from SADA. Now, a tourist from SADA. So all we need to do is to count this. We have 1, 2. So it's 2. 2 out of how many options we have? Are we looking at? We are looking at 6 of them. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 2 out of 6, which could be 1 out of 3. They said it's simplified fraction. So where we end. All right, we go to question number 3.3. Mr. Kent, farmer in KZN, collected data on 2 types of tomatoes, type A and type B, and represented it in the form of box and whiskers plot as shown below. So here we go. We are saying, use the diagram above, answer the questions that follow. Write down the 25th percentile of, now when you hear 25th percentile, yet on the box and whiskers we need quartiles, please. This is the same as quartile 1. So 25% of quartile 1, sorry, of the data. So type B, we are here. Remember, we name it and we say this is the minimum, all right? We are followed by Q1, the one in the middle is Q2, Q3, and at the end we have the maximum. So we are looking for Q1. Take note. When you look at the lines here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That means each line representing 1. So this is where our Q1 is. So type B. Simply meaning the answer is supposed to be 51 kg. Sorry, grams. 51 grams. grams. Identify the median mass for 2 types of tomatoes. The median is this Q2 here, and they are all in the same line. So if this was 51, this is 52. So the median then becomes 52 grams. Calculate the difference between the range and the interquartile range for the type A. Now, range and interquartile range, type A. Remember, this is the minimum. That is the maximum. What is it going to help us get? Going to help us get range. Then between Q1 and Q3, this will be the interquartile range. Okay, let's look at that and we see. So allow me use this part here. So the range equals to highest value minus the lowest value. So we shall start with that. because I'm looking for range. Here we shall say, what's the range? What's the minimum in? Oh, it's 46. And the maximum is 60. So we are good to go. We shall come and say 60 minus 46. Put your answer there. The answer here becomes 14. The answer there becomes, this is range. Then we go to interquartile range, whereby we said we shall take the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. The upper quartile of type A, what is it? Upper quartile of type A is 50, because if this is 56, we have 57. So this is 57. And Q1 is the 49. These are the values we need. So Q3, 57 minus 49. And the answer here is 8. But we don't end here. Remember, the question wants you to get the difference between range and interquartile range. So we go ahead and we say, so this is the final answer of question number 3.3.3. All right, we look at question number 3.4. We're asking you, based on the box and whiskers plot shown above for both types of tomatoes, advise Mr. Kent which type it should grow in the future. Now we shall say type A. The reason why we are saying type A already, type A has 25%. Let me see, 25, this is 46. And this is 49. This is 51. All right, that brings us to the end of question number 3. Question number 4. Domestic workers have a stipulated minimum rate per hour. The employer must deduct UIF from the employee who will be employed for a year or more. The graph below shows how the hourly rates have changed from 2018, 2024. So here we go. They're asking us, calculate the percentage increase in the rate from 2023 to 2024. So we shall just come here up. We compare these two. We have that. It's 2023, 2024. So we shall put the 2024, it's already 2758 minus, I'm substituting into the formula. So in other words, the answer here is supposed to be, okay, you divide by, and you multiply by 100. Please, if you to do it using the calculator, you put them in brackets. If you have that calculator that doesn't have a fraction format, so we are looking at 8,5%. Don't forget that. Then we go on 4.1.2. State one benefit of contributing to unemployment insurance fund. It's a relief when you're unemployed. It's a relief when you're unemployed. Though you're a domestic worker, works 8 hours per day, Monday to Friday. She stated that her income per month after the first March rate increase is now 4,780 rands 17 cents. Use calculations to verify her claim. Remember, she works 8 hours per day from Monday to Friday. So she states that her income per month. So first and foremost, we need to find out how many hours does she work in a week. So we shall say 80 times the number of days, 40, this is per week. Then how many weeks are they in a month? They have told us 1 month has 4 commas. So we shall do that. So how many hours are we looking at? So we're looking at 173,032. These are the hours, but each hour the person is going to multiply by 27. 27 runs. 27 runs 58 cents. Indeed, you get 4,708 and 17 cents. So don't forget, you're verifying her claim. So you state that the claim is valid. The claim is valid. 4.2. Mr. Naidu is an educator and will be turning 65 in January 2025. Given his years of service in the profession, he expects his retirement fund to be 3,240,000. The following tax rule applies to the retirement funds. Retirement, 1/3 of the lump sum retirement benefit is tax-free. Okay, we continue. Calculate the portion of Mr. Naidu's lump sum retirement benefit that is tax-free. They have told us 1/3. So we shall say 1/3 simply means 1/3 times the money that we are looking at. show 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 that 143,550 rands for the rates for the rate for the rates of tax on table 4 is correct. So they want us to prove this. Remember, how do you get this number? Here we get it from the previous bracket. That means this number came from this other bracket. How many brackets are there? We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this number came from bracket number 3. So what you're going to do for me is write down the bracket to number 3, which is 39,600 plus 27%, open brackets. Now, what do you put in the brackets? You take the maximum number here. Minus the number that was found inside here. I'm here doing this, put it in the calculator. And indeed, it's the answer that we get. 3 marks. All right, we go on and we see 4.2.3. Calculate the amount of tax. Calculate the amount of tax that will be deducted from Mr. Naidu's retirement lump sum benefit. Remember, take the amount of tax. Remember, this much, this one here, it's tax-free. That means we need to get the money and remove this. But since it's a third, that means 2/3 are supposed to be taxed. So we shall say 2/3 times. I'm looking for what is going to be taxed. A third is tax-free, so it's not taxed. So first and foremost, we need to look for what will be taxed, what remains after. So we remain with 200. All right. So this is what's going to be taxed. Then we ask ourselves which bracket does it belong to? It belongs to bracket number 4. So we calculate the amount of tax. So we shall say 143,550 plus 3,6 open brackets, like 2,160,000 minus 1,155,000. So put this in your calculator and we see. So that will be the tax. This will be the tax that we are looking at. First and foremost, we have to identify how much will be taxed, because they're telling you some part is not taxed. Then the other part, the remainder is taxed. So a third is not taxed. That means 2/3 are taxed. You had to first look for this amount that's going to be taxed. Then you look for the bracket, you substitute in, and you get your answer. 4.3. South Africa faces a significant challenge with unemployment. And next, just C shows the unemployment rate for 9 provinces between the second quarter and the third quarter. Please, these are not quartiles, but the quarters of the year. Each quarter has 3 months. So the second quarter is from April to June. And the third quarter is from July to September. All right. So we continue and we shall say, write down the number of provinces that experienced an increase in unemployment from quartile 2 quartile 3. Let's go to the next chart. Here we go. These 2 provinces here, they show the percentage. So we shall, they said write down the number and don't list the province. So we say 2 provinces. State one reason for an increase in unemployment. I would have said introduction of technology. Remember, technology replaces humans. So introduction of or less skills, low qualifications. You understand? Calculate the unemployment rate change for South Africa between Q2 and Q3 of 2023. Unemployment rate change. So we shall come to the next chart here. This is what we are looking at. So from 32.6 to 31, we shall come here 32.6 minus 31.9. And the answer became 0.7. 4.3.4 determine the probability as a percentage of randomly selecting a province in which the unemployment rate decreased. So probability that randomly select a province in which the unemployment decreased. Now remember, we said only of the 9, 2 had an increment. That means the probability is 7 out of 9. But they want it as a percentage multiplied by 100. And you end up having 76. Sorry, 77. 77.78, which is approximately 78%. This brings us to the end of question number 4. Let's look at question number 5. Question number 5, it looks at tariffs, which falls under finance. Tariffs, which falls under finance. Okay. Identify the maximum number of kilowatts in block B. Block B. Now, block B is this one. Sorry. Block 2. It's this one here. So, what's the maximum that we need here? It will be 300. How did I get it? 300? I took the 350 minus the 50, which becomes 300. So, block B, we shall say all right. So they're telling us 5.1.2, convert the tariff rate for block 4 to rands per kilowatt. So block 4, we have 205.46 cents. How do you change cents to rands? Cents to rands, we divide by 100. So in this case, we have 2,05, 06 divided by 100. That's the answer there. So we come here, calculate the monthly service fees. The monthly service fees charge excluding VAT. Now, it's right here, including VAT. So when we are excluding, we divide. The 4,15 divided by that, divided by 36. That is the David stated that the total cost, including VAT, for using 687 kilowatts of electricity is 1,310. Verify showing all calculations. Now, these are 6 marks. I'd like us to work it out from the table for you to understand what happens. First and foremost, it's 687, the units that we are looking at, that David claims to have used. All right. So if there's 600, that means it will stop here. The 87 is supposed to be here of the because it has exceeded 600. Then ask yourself, but we have the 50. First, it has to cover 50. And here we say it was the maximum because here we say the maximum was 300 units. Then what about here? Here we have 250. How did I get the 200? We ignore the ones on the left-hand side, this one. So we did with this. So the first block needs 50 units. Second block takes 300. The third block takes 200. How did you subtract? So here we subtracted 350 minus 50. We got our 300. 600 minus 350. We got the 250. But what we are looking at, it has exceeded 600 by 87. So in this block here, we can't say 900. Had it exceeded 1,500, then this part would be 900 units. Anyway, if he uses 50, how much is he going to pay? We shall say 50 times this money here. Let me bring them closer. So it's 50 times that money. It's 300 times that money. 250 times that money. And 87 times that money. Actually, when we add up these units here, they should give us 686, which is indeed it's true, because if you get this 50 plus the 250, you get 300. 300 plus 300, you get 600. 600 plus 87, you end up having 687 kilowatts. So let's get the answers there. The first answer, it's 50 times 107.93. So we have the first answer is 5,300. 26. Remember, these are cents. So the next one, 300 times 138.31. We have the 41,400. Then the other one is 250 times 1.9. Then 87. So we add everything up. Add everything up. You end up having when you add everything up, you ended up having 1,13892.02. Now these are cents. We want them in rands. What do? We divide by 100. And when you divide by 100, then include VAT. When you include VAT, you end up having 1310. But we have to also add on the service fee. Answer becoming 1,000. So David's statement is what? David's statement is invalid. David's statement is invalid. Okay. Those were 6 marks. 5.1.5. David paid 825 rands 91 cents, including VAT to the municipality. Calculate the amount of charged for electricity, excluding service fee and VAT. First and foremost, we shall need to do this. Minus service fee so 825.91 minus 417.72. So we have it as, and this includes rate. What do? We divide by 1,5. So this is the answer. 354 rands 95 cents. 95 cents. The growth charts are helpful in monitoring the growth pattern of a child or monitor the fat levels in adults by using the body mass index. An extra D shows the height and the weight for the age percentile counts for boys aged 2 to 20 years. Now we go and we say, okay, these are the formulas, old and the new formula. So they are saying, use an extra D and the information above to answer the questions that follow. Write down the height of a 2-year-old boy if his height is on the 75th percentile, 2-year-old. Let's look at the mixture here. 2-year, it's this line here. And we want the height if it lies on the 75th percentile. So the 75th percentile is the third line from above. So we say 1, 2, 3. Where does it touch? It's not exact at 90. It's at this level here, which becomes 89. You can say 89. So we are looking for the height, 70th percentile. So it's 89 centimeters. Identify the difference between old formula and the new formula. They are here. 1, the weight is multiplied by. That's the difference. The weight is multiplied by that, and the height is powered by 2 comma. The exponent is 2 comma 5. An 18-year-old boy weighs the, okay, 18-year weight and the height are on the 5th percentile and 10th percentile, respectively. Determine the weight in kilograms and the height in meters. So the weight is at 50 percentile, which is 50%. So we shall come there at the next year. Come 18. They said 18. 18 is the dark color. 1, 2, 3, the dark line from your right hand side. So at the weight is at 50. So where does this dark color touch the 50? It's around there. It's around there. Allow me increase a little bit for you to see. So this dark color touches the 50% at that line there, which are 1, 2 from the bottom. So the weight in kilogram is, the weight in kilograms around 69. Because we're going to ask ourselves, we have how many lines we have from 7 to 65. If there are 5, well and good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means each is representing 1, 1. So 65, 66, 67. So the guy or the boy weight is 67. That's the weight, or you can call it the mass. Now let's go to the height. It's at the 10th percentile. The height is at the 10th percentile. So the height, I'm using the stature here, which also represents the height, 10th percentile. Remember 10, we need 3 dark line. Look at where it is. It's 166 centimeters. 166. But they want it in meters, so we divide by 100, and it's 1,66 meters. That's how we do it. It's this one, sorry. But still it's 66, 67. not this one. Because 18 is this. 19 and 20. So we come down here. 65, 66, 67. 67, it's fine. Okay, look at the last question. A 15-year-old boy weighs 70 kg and is 1.65 meters tall. Use both the old and the new formula to give given above. Look at the difference in BMI. Number one, I will use the old one. That one is off head. BMI equals to mass over height squared in meters. So the guy is 70 divided by 1.5 squared. What answer do we get? 70 divided by 1.65 squared. Then the new we shall take 1.3 times the mass over height to the power 2.5. So let's do that. Change it a little bit. Which became 1.3 times 70. Here we've got 26, 02 kilograms per. So the difference now. The difference. We need to subtract and we shall get the answer as 26,02 minus 25, so the answer will become. And this marks the end of our question paper.